Hey everyone, Austin here again with another Let's Play video. Today, as you can see, it's going to be Super Mario Land for the Game Boy. Played on a Super Nintendo Super Game Boy. And so yeah, let's go ahead and just jump right into it. This is a really fun Super Mario Brothers game, and I highly recommend checking this game out if you have never played it before. It's a really fun Mario game. Best for fans of the classic Super Mario Brothers on the NES. As the Game Boy, Super Mario Land actually feels the most like the NES Super Mario Brothers outside of all the other Mario games that it could feel like. So yeah, this was actually one of my most played Game Boy games of all time, believe it or not. And you know, everybody had this game back in the day, but I didn't play it a lot just because everybody had it, and it was one of the most common games, but it was such a good game. It looks dated today, and a lot of Game Boy games do, to be honest with you, but man, it's still a lot of fun today. Like, it's really fun. When I was doing some practice playthroughs, getting ready for this Let's Play, I was actually having a blast playing through this game again. It's not very long, it's not super challenging, but it can be difficult if you're being reckless with the game. If you take it nice and slow, it's not too bad. But it's great. I really love how this game is like the original Super Mario Brothers, but it's kind of got like its own unique traits. You know, you got like this Egyptian theme. You got pyramids and like the sphinxes and so forth. But then you got your standard Mario coins and coin blocks, and Koopa Troopas and Goombas are still in it. You also have this sort of like not improved, but this alternate fireball attack, which actually reflects off objects at a 45-degree angle, and it can also collect coins for you. It's really a neat mechanic that I almost kind of wish they included in other later Mario games. Like the bouncing fireball like this is really neat. Also, you've got these end screens where you've got the alternate path at the top, which will take you to a bonus round after each level, minus boss stages. And that's really cool too. You can pick up a fire flower or 1 to 3 lives if you're lucky. And looks like we got a fire flower, even though I didn't need it. So we are actually playing this on a Super Game Boy for the Super Nintendo, and it's actually really interesting how this game handles the Super Mario Land color palette. I really like how it looks. What was funny, this is actually not my first attempt at recording this Let's Play. I actually had, the first time I got it to World 2-1 and the game crashed on me. I've never had that happen before. I went into a pipe with a star power-up, and then the game just froze. And then my second attempt, I kind of messed up, so I had to start over. And so we're on our third attempt, but if you guys have been watching my recent Game Boy Let's Plays, you'll notice the color palette has usually consisted of like a beige-like color, and you'll notice that this one doesn't. But what's funny is when I did the first 2 takes on this, it did have the beige color palette, but when I reset the system, it popped up with this one, and this is actually a really nice color palette. You can see that Mario's red, those palm trees are green and red as well. The sky is beige. It's interesting. And so I don't know if this game had a custom palette made for it in the Super Game Boy. Which wouldn't surprise me, you know, when Nintendo concocted the Super Game Boy. But the way like they work the colors in this game for the Super Game Boy is just really nice. I really like how it looks on the Super Game Boy. Like those torches in the background are now red. Last time I played it, I'm pretty sure they weren't red. So it's really neat how they did that on the Super Game Boy. So as you saw earlier on, you can go down the pipes in this game. There's actually quite a few secrets in this game, which is really nice. And I do recommend trying to go down all the pipes that you can. As well as hitting all the blocks that you can as well. Sometimes you'll get power-ups, sometimes you'll get coin blocks. There's a power-up, which I don't need, but I'm going to collect it anyway just for points, but here's a coin block. So we've currently got 8 extra lives, and or 8 lives. And just like in the original Super Mario Brothers, when you get 100 coins, you get an extra life as well. There's some other hidden platforms you can find as well. We might be able to find one on this level, actually. And, oops, I got hit. I wasn't meaning to. So that's going to make things a little more difficult. It's always more difficult when you're small Mario. And we might not actually be able to get our hidden block now because I'm not Big Mario. Yeah, there was a hidden block there that would have taken me right up top. But since I'm small Mario, I can come down here and get this area. There's more coins and some pickups. Like this, this mushroom. And that'll get us back to safety. Unfortunately, no fire flower. Although I think there might be a fire flower coming up here. There we go. And I like having the fire flower in this game because just like in the original Super Mario Bros., you can use it to take out bosses a little bit easier. So what's kind of interesting about this game is that there's no Bowser in this game. I believe this takes place in the Dreamland. Not that I normally care about things like that. I don't really question video game logic or, you know, background stories or anything like that for these old retro games. But Mario Land does technically take place in the Dreamland, I believe, which is different from the Mushroom Kingdom. And so you've got all brand new enemies. You've got this Egyptian theme. Princess Toadstool, aka Peach, isn't even in the game. It's Daisy now. And it's a nice twist on things. And even though this game was still technically very early in the Mario franchise, I mean, Mario has been running a very long-running franchise for a long, long time. So 1989, when this game came out, super early Mario game, all things considered. But I really like the unique take on the classic Super Mario Bros. Formula that this game offers. I mean, just really interesting backgrounds, like this UFO-looking palm tree sort of thing. Just really interesting stuff. It's a really fun game to play when you're really familiar with the other Mario games, because it's so different. And not in a bad way at all. Not in a bad way at all. So these bonefish, or whatever you want to call them, they can't be killed with your fireball, but you can literally just sit on the platform, and as long as they come up directly underneath you, you'll take them out. So let's come down here, get these coins, and break these blocks. And there's going to be a coin block right here. Ooh, not a coin block. It's a power-up. And with a little trickery, we can just jump up here and leave the pipe. And so again, these guys, you literally just sit on the platform. You just take them out instantly. That's the easiest way to deal with them. And if you have the fire flower, the easiest way to deal with the Koopa Troopas is shooting them as well. Because what's interesting about the Koopa Troopas in this game is that they explode if you hop on them. The Goombas, they're just standard Goombas. They're a little tough to hit because they're tiny in this game. And I'm going to try to go ahead and just take these guys out. Now, I believe this tube is actually where it froze on me before, so I'm going to go ahead, try it again. Okay, looks like we're good. Yeah, last time I came down here, I came down with the invincibility, and it literally froze in this pipe, which was really weird. I've never had that happen before, so crossing my fingers nothing like that happens again. Otherwise, I'm going to have to do this Let's Play a fourth time! Yay! I really hate having to re-record these things multiple times. It's one of the worst things in making these videos on YouTube. A lot of times, all you guys see is just the finished product, but what some might not realize is that that finished product might have actually been the 5th, 6th, 7th, or 8th take. Which means you can spend a lot of time trying to do these simple, what look like very simple Let's Play videos. Ooh, I missed that extra life. But yeah, you can spend a lot of time on these things, even though it doesn't look like it when you upload them. So bonus level again, let's see what we get here. We've got 13 lives currently. Fire flower, we already have one. Not a big deal. I don't really care about the extra lives that much. Like, the last time I played through this game, I think I died like once. So, you know, we're really not going to have much of a problem here. That's just kind of how it goes. So, there's our coin block. So it's a little tricky to jump up there like that, but if you just practice it, hold down the run button, it's actually not that bad. You kind of get used to it, just like that, see? The thing about this game is that it moves so quickly, and Mario jumps so fast as well, so like, you know, even though it looks like you shouldn't be able to get up there, just with how fast Mario runs and gets up to speed and then jumps, it's just a timing thing, really. See, I'm just doing it over and over again. I'm not even really worried about it, so yeah, if you happen to get stuck down below and can't get up top, just remember that you can, with some clever running and platform trickery, you can get up there still, even though it looks like you shouldn't be able to. So again, like I said, the Koopa Troopas, they leave behind these shells that explode now, which is an interesting twist. I like that. And that's just one thing, that's just what I like about this game, is like, it's like Super Mario Brothers, but it's so different at the same time, and unique. And not, you know, like, different or unique in a bad way. It's like a really fun, like, appealing kind of way. I really like what they did with this game. There's so much stuff to destroy as well. All these blocks. But yeah, the Fire Flower is really good in this game, too. For these platforms, I would really recommend just taking your time with them. Just kind of, like, wait. Take it relatively slow. And there's a lot of platforming like that in this game, especially from here on out. So the piranha plants are still in this game as well, as you see. They're not as well drawn as they are in the NES game, but they basically do the exact same thing. They do not shoot fire in this one. They literally just come up like the original Super Mario Brothers, and that's it. And so, right here, we can actually, I believe we can jump up onto that platform and just skip that part altogether, where you have to jump up those falling platforms one by one. That's not really that difficult, as long as you don't hold down the run button, and you just time your jumps correctly. Ooh, another 3 extra lives, look at that. And here's one other really cool thing about this game. You actually have a couple of shoot-'em-up sections. And they're not really that difficult. They're just more or less like relaxing, but you do fight a boss at the end of each one of these. I believe there's actually 2 of these throughout the course of the game. So there's only 12 levels in this game, believe it or not. And we're on World 2-3, so we're actually basically halfway through the game right now. And so this is not a very long game compared to the other Super Mario Bros. Games. So like in the original Super Mario Bros., you had 8 worlds, each with 4 levels in it. So in this game, you've got less than half the stages that the original Super Mario Bros. Had. But I don't mind that at all, honestly. Like, this game is so much fun. Like, I kind of like how it's relatively short compared to the other Mario games in the franchise. Super Mario Land 2 is a little bit of the same way. Like, on the surface, it looked like this big, hulking adventure like Super Mario World was. But it's actually a pretty short game as well. You can beat it in about an hour, if that. I mean, I'm strictly talking comparatively to Super Mario World or later Super Mario Bros. Games, or even Super Mario Bros. 3, which was a fairly large adventure, all things considered, for the NES. And so here's our boss. You can actually skip the boss completely, but I prefer to just, you know, destroy the boss. It's easy points, it's more fun. I like dodging the bullets and so forth. I really like the shoot-'em-up sections in this game. I kind of wish that, like, they just made an entire game out of this. That would have been really cool. Had like a Super Mario Land like side mission, or you know, a alternate game to go along with this one, or something like that, or I don't know, just something fun to play around with that shoot 'em up engine. All right, so we're officially halfway through the game. And actually, what I wanted to do was try to get that Fire Flower, but I'll take those extra lives instead. I prefer the Fire Flower just because it makes life a lot easier. I don't really have to worry about too much. You know, enemies coming my way? Oh, no worries, just shoot them. You know, that sort of thing, so... Exploding Koopa Troopas, gotta watch out for them. Alright, this might be a fire flower. Nope. Coin block. So now we've got the Moai heads. So we went from like an Egyptian theme to Moai now. So like the Easter Island heads. Which is just kind of interesting. Different for a Mario game. Right here you can actually just fall down, hold right. You don't want to hit those spikes though, you will get hurt. Even though it doesn't really look like it. Can we go down? Nope. And we got the bullet bills, just like in the NES Super Mario Brothers. So there's a lot of stuff that's familiar here, but there's a lot of stuff that's not familiar as well. And I like that mix. Like these little guys running across the screen, these like sort of totem things that bounce. And it seems like they're just gonna keep following you until you take them out. So let's take them out. Ooh, or not. Let's jump on this platform and jump to this one. Alright, there we go. That's a good bonus room. So many coins. So many more coins than any bonus room ever had in the original Super Mario Brothers. I like how the devs were probably like, oh yeah, let's just, you know, make a room full of coins. Literally, like every available block is now a coin. I like that. That's cool. Oops. Now I could use a fire flower though. This part right here is a little tricky. Again, I prefer to just take things slow. A lot of times you'll see me jumping without actually using the run function, so I have a little more control over where Mario goes. And that's exactly what I do right here. When you have thinner platforms and moving objects like this that you have to walk on top of, that's definitely the best policy. Like, just let off the run button completely. There's no reason to touch it until you really absolutely need it. Music's speeding up, which means we're about to run out of time. That was close. Alright, bonus room. Let's see if we can get that fire flower. Nope, we got the ladder, 3 more extra lives, 27 lives total. We don't really need any lives right now. What we need is some power-ups. But no, we'll be fine. Like, it's not a big deal at all. It's just more of like a playstyle preference. I prefer to have the fire flower, so I can just have more flexibility when I'm playing the game, that's all. It's not like I really need it. I can really take things slow like we are right now. But just from a preferential standpoint, I do like to have the fire flower. So this is where some of the platforming starts to get really tight and really tricky. So like right here... Oops. That was my fault. And this is where you really want to just not hold down the run button at all if you can avoid it, because the platforms are so tight. Like right here. You get that falling spike. Fortunately, it falls pretty slowly, so... but it is good to know that it's there before you make your jump. Oh! I was expecting the shell to take a couple more seconds to explode, but I mistimed that. That was my fault. I was actually intentionally staying on top of it, by the way. But it actually explodes pretty quickly now that I see. Let's just skip these guys. Alright, so more boulders here. More rocks to climb on. Ooh, man, that's why you don't hold on the run button. That was a complete accident. Alright, we're gonna skip those coins. We don't need those. Back to square one with our power-ups. And you can just jump over that completely. Alright, we've got to take this slow if we want this bonus room. Just like that. Oh, I wanted that fire flower. Not a big deal. So we're already about 3/4 of the way through the game. We don't have a whole lot more to go. Let's hope we can get a fire flower by the time we get to this boss. Otherwise, we're gonna have to beat the boss the old-fashioned way, which is trying to run under the boss and hit the switch instead of actually destroying said boss. More coins! Lots of coins. So it seems like when you're Big Mario, you have no problem just running over these blocks like you could in the original Super Mario Brothers. But if you're Small Mario, it seems like it is a problem. Just something to keep in mind when you're playing this game. Like right here, I can just run back and forth like it's nothing, but if I'm Small Mario, apparently not. I didn't want to push over these coin blocks in case there was a power-up, but there's not. Not a big deal. This part's a little tricky. You're gonna need to fall down here and then duck, and then jump up, just like that. Otherwise you get pushed off and you fall to your death. I know, sounds so ominous. Falling to your death, death. It's a Super Mario Brothers game. You can't take death too seriously. I mean, I've only got 31 lives right now. I mean, that's nothing. Yeah, I forgot this boss. You actually have to go over him, not under him. But if you're Big Mario or have a Fire Flower, you can just, like, basically tank your way through the guy. Basically take one for the team and then just kill him right away. Which, that's something a lot of people don't realize in these classic Super Mario Brothers games is, as long as you're Big Mario, you can pretty much get through anything. You know, there's pretty much nothing that kills you in one hit in these games except for fire, like lava, or an endless pit, or getting crushed. So now this one, actually, I can't get to. I have to have the Fire Flower to do that, unfortunately. Oh well, not a big deal. I've said that like 10 times in this Let's Play already. Not a big deal. It's all good. Alright, so we're on the final set of stages. There's going to be 2 platform levels and then 1 final shoot-'em-up stage. This level is by far the trickiest of the bunch. There's more piranha plants and things of that sort. But there's also these, like, jumping chicks that come at you. These enemies right here. They can't be destroyed by just hopping on them. You have to have a Fire Flower if you want to take them out permanently. So you just gotta watch out for them. Just kind of avoid them. Maybe hop on them to stop them. But aside from that, just kind of like, yeah, just avoid them. And get some coins while you just watch them bounce back and forth. And then hop on their heads like it's nothing. Oops, or let them hop on my head. Oh, see, that would have been a fire flower. As long as we get through these 2 levels without it, we'll be fine. Ooh, there's a star. I'll take that. And I will take that, gladly. Ugh. The game's slowing down now. There's so much happening. Mario's blinking, all these enemies are doing their thing. Those falling platforms can actually be really tricky. Ooh, that was close. I almost fell down that by accident. I didn't mean to jump. I just realized that Mario skids just like he does in the first NES game. Look at that. It's just, you're so fast in this game, I never really noticed it. It helps that we're going through the Super Game Boy in an upscaler, which allows animations like that to be picked out much easier. Do a little dance, Mario. Alright, we're close to the end of the level. Oops. I wasn't planning on that, but okay. Not a big deal. That's like the running trend for this this episode. Not a big deal! Not a big deal at all. See if we can pick up another fire flower. Oh, look at that. Lucky. I was actually late. But, cool. We got one. Again, it just makes life easier. That's all. Not a necessity, but... if you're having problems with this game, try to get the fire flower and keep it. I know it might be easier said than done for some people. But as you can see, I'm literally just taking out every enemy I see. Which makes life easier. Alright, so this is a pretty tricky part as well. You've got these fireballs that are sort of floating around these blocks. Oops, and I got hit by one. So definitely probably the trickiest part in the game, to be honest with you. But we've got a star, so... looks like we're good. And a mushroom. And we're getting close to the end now. Got these snakes that like to shoot fireballs at you. Okay, I wasn't planning on doing that. That's why you don't hold down the run button. The only reason that happened is I was holding down run, and I just ran too quickly and just literally flew off the edge completely. Unannounced, really. I wasn't even planning on doing that. Mario was just like, oh, hey! It's like a vacuum. I'm just gonna get sucked right down here without the player even noticing until it's too late. That's why you really don't hold on the run button in this game unless you really have to. Alright, final stage of the game, guys, after a bonus level. Damn, we got a fire flower. Which we're not gonna need now, but... so there's actually 2 bosses on this level. You fight one boss once you get to the end, and then the final boss appears. And then it's the end of the game after that. Super Mario Land does not loop, so it doesn't get harder. There's no second quest after you beat the game. There might be a second quest or like a cheat code or something, I never looked into it. If anybody knows for sure, please post a comment below. But when you beat the game, it doesn't just give you a alternate quest option like the original Super Mario Bros. Did, so... It would have been cool if they gave you a second quest, because would have given the game, I'm not gonna say would have given the game more replay value, because it's already got a lot of replay value, just because it's a really damn fun game. Like, games that are just super fun don't need super hard modes, because they're fun. Like, natural fun means you're just gonna want to come back and play it again anyway. Which, yeah. It's honestly a trait I feel like a lot of people have lost sight of these days when they calculate how much playtime they're going to get out of a game. That's a topic for a different day, but it did actually, that topic came to mind when I mentioned that. But yeah, no super hard mode or anything like that, as far as I'm aware. But if you know of a cheat code or something like that that unlocks a harder mode, definitely let me know. I'm curious to check that out if it actually exists. I'm going to guess it probably doesn't, but... Alright, so this is the last stretch. We're going to be at the boss right after this. And I don't even know why I'm firing. It's not really necessary. And I don't really know why there's spikes up there either, because it's not like you go up top there. It's probably just for decoration. Alright, there's a mushroom. These fists you can't destroy, so you have to just actually dodge them. So there's this cloud here. We have to take out this cloud. And then the main boss appears from the floor. And he basically just does a spread shot over and over. And that's it. We just beat Super Mario Land for the Game Boy. And that's pretty much it, guys. I mean, I don't even think there's a whole lot to this. There's some credits, and then that's pretty much the end of the game. So I'm going to go ahead and just wrap things up here. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions or comments about the game, post something below in the comments section. Stay tuned for a Super Mario Land 2 Let's Play, which will be uploaded sometime in the near future. I just have to sit down and record it. And we got some catchy ending music here. The soundtrack in this game is great. Again, I don't really know if you guys are going to be able to hear this too well because of copyright claims on YouTube and blah blah blah. Nintendo's usually very strict. So doing this Let's Play was kind of like, I don't know if I should have done it, but it's Game Boy. We've been doing a lot of Game Boy Let's Plays, so I can't do a Game Boy pseudo-marathon without doing Super Mario Land, so... But yeah, the game does have great music. It's got a really catchy soundtrack, and very memorable stuff that'll get stuck in your head, most likely, including the old Indian theme here. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Like I said, I'm going to wrap this up. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing. I've got a ton of Let's Plays on here, and many more to come, as well as other types of videos. For those of you guys that are already subbed, thanks again as always. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you're able to kick back and relax, eat some popcorn, or drink some drink, or have a beer, or eat some pizza. I have no idea. Whatever you like to do while you watch this. And I hope you enjoyed it. So, stay tuned for more Let's Plays coming up very shortly, and I'll see you guys soon. Until then, take it easy.